I don't drink coffee, I spill tea, my dear. I walk these streets without no fear. I give you news they seem to lose. I'm the Frenchman in D.C. Whoa, I'm the Frenchman. I'm the D.C. Frenchman. I'm the Frenchman in D.C. Today, guys, I'm going to bring you something that I found out today on New Year's here, 2025, something I didn't know in all these years of living, that I want my black folks to know as a part of learning experience and tribes and tribulations of the black folks and what we went through. I owe this videography. I'm borrowing this. This is from Black Journals and 17 USC 107, Section 107, limitations on exclusive rights to fair use. Let me bring you this here and let my black people see what's going on and what went on so we could slow down on harming ourselves and killing ourselves. Let's go.
Leather started in the Americas, particularly in the southern United States, where slavery was rampant. The use of human skin was first documented in the early 1830s, and it later gained momentum in the 1840s and 1850s as the demand for exotic leather goods increased. This practice was mostly prevalent in the southern United States, where slavery was most prominent. Enslavers would tan and treat the skin of these black individuals to create various leather products, including book bindings, wallets, belts, saddles, and shoes. This process was widely accepted and even advertised in newspapers and catalogs, with some companies specializing in Negro leather or black leather goods.
Oh my God.
The use of their skin for leather products was a further dehumanizing act, reducing their bodies to mere materials
Black
for
Journals
consumption.
is where I bought the
Companies and individuals involved in human tanning obtained the skin of people through a web of exploitation and violence.
Can't believe they used to do this.
Enslaved people who died or were killed on plantations or during transportation were the major victims. They had their skin taken without consent or respect.
This was mostly
Indigenous peoples were also targeted,
Caucasians,
killed, and exploited during colonial expansion, their skin harvested as a byproduct of conquest. The Negro Leather Company, based in Philadelphia, is a perfect example of the legal organizations involved in this gruesome enterprise. There they would procure human skin from enslaved people who had died or been killed. On most occasions, they purchased the bodies of these individuals from people who were willing to sell them, or from slave owners at high prices. After purchase, they'll clean and prepare the skin, removing flesh and fat, and soak it in water or a solution to soften it. The skin would be scraped or de-haired to remove excess hair or tissue before being treated with tanning agents like vegetable or mineral tannins. Once tanned, the skin would be softened and conditioned with oils or waxes to make it supple and workable. The company would then cut and craft the human leather into various products, such as book bindings, wallets, or belts. These products would be finished with additional treatments like dyeing, embossing, or applying protective coatings. Ever heard of the word anthropodermic bibliopagy? This is the word for the act of binding books with human skins. On hearing this, I bet the questions going on in the minds of some of you watching out there are,
that's the practice.
Is there any such thing? Why would someone make these?
Human skin.
What's in between the book covers used? Whose skin is it? What do they smell like? However, here are a few examples of books, among several others, that were binded with the skin of enslaved black individuals.
My younger black folks who don't know about it,
and the Caucasian. Narrative of a 5 years expedition against the revolted Negroes of Suriname, authored by John Gabriel Stedman,
made with human skin,
was binded by the skin of an enslaved African man named Hottentot. Number 2,
Hottentot,
a book titled The Poems of Thomas Gray, 1798, was bound in the skin of an enslaved person believed to be from the Caribbean. Number 3, the skin of an enslaved woman was used to bind a copy of The History of Jamaica, 1774, by Edward Long. Number 4, a book titled A Treatise on the Diseases and Management of Negroes, 1795, was bound in the skin of an enslaved person, highlighting the cruel irony of using enslaved people's skin to discuss their medical treatment. Although most of the binding companies claim that they actually used the skin of these individuals in remembrance of the sufferings and sacrifices these individuals made, the majority of them had used it for their own private reasons, earning cash for themselves. This practice was mostly common amongst doctors, since they usually had the fastest way to get cadavers. In the 18th and 19th centuries, some doctors and medical professionals were involved in the use of human skin, particularly blacks, for leather products, including bookbinding, through various means. They supplied skin from deceased black patients, often without seeking the consent of the person's families.
If you ever want to know anything,
not only
tune
use
in,
the bodies of their enslaved
I'm on
blacks
the
for
case.
leather, but also the skins of black executed prisoners were not left out. They would bound their own books and manuscripts in tanned human skin, seeing it as a rare and exotic material. These evil white entrepreneurs did even advertise their services, offering to bind books in Negro skins, and were never out of customers flocking in their numbers. These medical personnel saw the skin of blacks as a commodity, rather than treating it with dignity and respect. They felt that blacks were in no way different from animals, so they ought to be treated as such. This practice was a reflection of the dehumanizing attitudes prevalent during the time, particularly towards marginalized groups.
It's terrible, guys.
The involvement of medical professionals in this practice is a disturbing